Louis Hart for the Ring magazine here in Saudi Arabia with David Benavidez as he takes on Anthony Yarde in the main event here on Saturday night. Look, David, it's good to be speaking to you ahead of a big fight for you, but how are things ahead of a massive fight on Saturday?
Yeah, everything is amazing, man. We've been here in Saudi Arabia for since Wednesday. We got here, but we came to Dubai a month before, so we already got acclimated to the time. Sleeping schedule is good, and your weight is really good too. So I'm just really happy to be out here. I'm very excited to perform on a big card like the Riyadh season, and like I said, man, I'm very excited. You know, this is a camp I worked really hard in. You know, I know Anthony Yarde is coming prepared, but this is what excites me. I want a great fight, and I want to give the fans what they want to see this Saturday.
How have you found it in Saudi or Dubai so far? Like, have you found, I guess, then different settings for a training camp?
Yeah, it's different. But it's nice though, man. I like the people out here. They've been really friendly to me. They treated me and my family, you know, with a lot of respect. You know, also shout out to Turkey Al Sheikh, you know, for setting everything up for us, and it's been really amazing, man. I love it over here, and I'm looking forward to coming and fighting over here again in the future. Good
stuff. And as you say there about the difference in locations, it's so used to fighting in America. Is it nice to have that change of a different location, having to travel for a fight? Like, is it nice getting used to them different things in your career?
Yeah, it's definitely nice. I'm a Vegas fighter, so I've been fighting in Vegas for the past like 10 years. So it's really nice to just see the different setting. It's nice to be able to come all the way out here to a different part of the world just with my boxing and with my whole team, you know what I mean? So I'm very happy. I'm very grateful for where my boxing has brought me and my team to, and I'm very happy for having the opportunity to fight over here for the people of Saudi Arabia.
Good stuff. And taking on Anthony Yarde as well, look, his third attempt at a world title, and you know what he brings, and you know what you bring. So is there that extra excitement knowing that you're in for an entertaining fight? Because Yarde, really, it's almost like a last chance for him. Is there, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, unfortunately for Yarde, this is going to be the third attempt that he loses because I'm coming in prepared for this. You know what I mean? This is nothing out of the ordinary for me. If anything, I'm more motivated in this fight than any other fight. You know, I know Anthony Yarde is going to come in prepared. I know he's a hard fighter. I know he's a hard hitter. I know he has a lot of heart. And I know he's ready for this fight. But this is what motivates me more. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to shut Anthony Yarde down.
I know it's a question you've got quite a few times, but look, the Morel fight, the Plant fight, there was a lot of needle in there between you. There's a lot of respect there, I think, between yourself and Anthony, but don't get me wrong, obviously you yourself, it doesn't change the fact, but is it, I guess, how is it not having that needle with an opponent that you previously have had before?
To be honest with you, that was, all of that stuff was true, none of that stuff was fake. But it gives the fight more of a storyline. I feel like with this one, you know, I really just wanted to focus on the job and getting the job done good. And it's giving me, you know, all that energy and all that stuff. It takes a lot of energy out of you, you know, when you have, you know, bad blood like that. So right now, you know, I mean, I have a lot of respect for Anthony Yarde, but nothing has changed. I'm going in there trying to do the same thing, but I'm able to focus more on the fight, you know what I mean? So, and I also feel like us as people, we got to be role models to the kids. You know, we don't always have to get dirty in the fights. We don't always have to talk smack and do all this and that. We can both be gentlemen, still try to go kill each other in the ring, but still show a lot of respect before and after the fight. So there's no bad blood, but I'm going to be looking for some blood come November 22nd.
Is it nice to have that respect, though, I guess, from opponents?
Yeah, it's nice, man. It's nice. Like I'm saying, that's why I wanted to show the youth that we could also go this route too. We could, you know, be respectable men, and you know, it feels good. You know what I mean? I don't hate everybody I fight, or I don't hate anybody, but you know what I mean. It does feel good to have this respect mutually.
Yeah. For yourself, David, and you look at this fight at 175 pounds, do you feel like you have to answer questions to people for this fight in terms of making a statement? Yeah,
I always have to answer questions for every fight I go up against. I know that since I got in the fight with Caleb Plant, since I got that fight, every fight was going to get better and better. So I've worked harder and harder every single training camp, and it's not answering the questions for the critics or the fans, it's answering them for myself. I want to be the baddest man on the planet at 175. So, you know, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to have a tremendous victory, you know what I mean? And that's why I trained extremely hard, because I want to go in there and I want to answer them questions for myself as well.
Yeah, because when I look at sort of on the Yarde side, or even, you know, his promoter Frank Warren, he said on record numerous times about the power not coming up to you at 175 pounds. How do you respond to those claims that people have that the power, I guess, hasn't transitioned from your move to super middle to light heavy?
Well, I'm still getting used to this weight class too. This is my second. It's gonna be my third fight at 175. So, like I said, you have to kind of go back to the basics. I have to go back to the footwork, to the jab, getting the distance. For me, I'm have one of the highest IQs in boxing. I'm the second most accurate puncher in all of boxing. So it's for me just kind of going back to the basics, kind of fixing my game plan. When I was at 168, I fell in love with just going in there, walking fighters down. So, I still have the same power. I just have to, do certain things to put myself in position to land these bigger shots. So it doesn't matter. Like I said, every fighter I go in against, like the 175 fights I had against Bosick, and my last fight, I was hurting both fighters the whole fight. And it's just I had to set some things up to get the knockout. But the power is still there. There can't nobody tell me the power is there. Everybody I spar, I hurt. Everybody I fight, I hurt. So I know the power is there for a fact. Yeah,
because that's obviously the claim that people would say about you. But do you also enjoy, look, regardless of the power, there's a lot more to the game that you show as well, as you say. Do you enjoy, I guess, showing that you did in the Morel and the Gvozdyk fight as well?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, the great thing about me is I'm an all-around fighter. I'm not just a one-trick pony. I know how to do everything. So it's for me just, setting things up a little bit better. And, at the end of the day, you're not going to knock everybody out. I think that's very apparent. Everybody has fights where they don't knock everybody out. But I have... on 30-0 with 25 knockouts, so the power is there.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's a case of people when they do fight you, they don't really know what they're getting in with until they're in the ring with you?
Yeah, a lot of people, they don't think I'm as fast as I am. A lot of people don't think that I have the defense I have. So it's a bit of a shock for them when they get in there. But it all works in my advantage, honestly, at the end of the day.
Is there an excitement when you see guys finding that out and almost breaking them in the ring?
Yeah, that's definitely what it is, breaking them down little by little. And if they were smart, they would prepare for everything I could do. But a lot of them, like I said, they don't give me the time of day or they don't give me the respect that I give them. That's why every time I fight everybody, I'm so prepared for whatever they do because I give them the respect. I treat every fight like the hardest fight of my career. You know what I mean? So this is exactly how I treated this fight. So I'm 100% ready. Offense, defense. We put the rounds in of work. We put the rounds in the sparring. We put the miles in and running. So we're 100% ready for whatever comes our way.
And is there also, when you look at future fights for yourself, an importance on being undeniable, or even in your legacy, no one can question David Benavidez? Is there an importance in that?
Yeah, definitely. It's being as dominant as I could be. And I think I made it really apparent that I'm extremely dominant. In every fight, I win more than 8, 9 rounds. You know what I mean? So that's how I could separate myself from the pack. So I definitely want to be in the league of my own, and I want to be the best by the time my generation is done. And then by the time I beat somebody, I want them to be no question who won that fight. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Do you think Yarde comes for a shootout on Saturday, like he's been saying?
Yeah, he's going to come for a shootout. But like I said, that excites me. That does not scare me. That does not deter me one bit. I want to go in there, and if he wants to brawl me, I'm going to outbrawl the brawler. If he wants to box me, I'm going to outbox the boxer. Whatever he's going to do, I'm going to have an answer for.
I know you're not looking ahead of Saturday, but is undisputed the aim for you, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. Undisputed, that's definitely the dream. If I would have had my opportunity to fight Canelo for the undisputed titles, I would have been undisputed champion already. But that didn't happen, so now 175, I'm gonna win all the undisputed titles here.
And obviously Bivol holding the other belts, a guy you've had history with. When you do talk about sparring him and almost having success against Bivol, that give you confidence, I guess, of a future fight against Dmitry Bivol?
Yeah, it definitely gives me confidence because I sparred him a lot and I had a lot of success with him. Last time I sparred him, I was 22 years old. So now I'm a stronger fighter, more intelligent fighter, a fighter with more experience. But, that doesn't take nothing away from Dmitry Bivol. He's a great fighter. But this is what makes these fights fun. Two great fighters going up against each other and giving the fans what they want to see.
Do you think that's realistic that could be next, I guess, after this?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I just take it one fight at a time. If I would tell you that I'm sure about the fights that are going to come, my career would have looked a little bit different. I'm not sure about anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just sure about this fight, November 22nd. We're going to give it all against Anthony Yarde.
I was looking at when we done a camp visit for yourself, when you talk about almost 5 more years at light heavyweight and even then 5 years at cruiserweight. Do you see 10 more years of yourself in the boxing game?
Honestly, I see more than 10 years. I've been boxing since I was 3 years old. You know, I've been professional since I was 16. I got 13 years professional already. I don't know how to do nothing else. I don't want to do nothing else. You know, I love training. I love working hard. You know, some people are not meant for this life. Some people are not meant to go away for training camp, be in training camps 13, 14 weeks. Some people are not meant for that. I'm cut out for this. This is what I'm made for. So my career could go a long way. You know, I can't tell you how long I'm going to last, but it's definitely going to be more than 10 years.
And how would you describe your passion for the game now at this point in your career?
I love it. I love everything about boxing. I love everything mentally. I love everything physically. I love the competition. I love everything about this game. You know, this, like I said, this boxing game is meant for me. Mm-hmm. And like I have so much, there's so much passion here. You know, there's so much passion here. Like I said, I don't want to do nothing else. And I'm at the top of my game, and I'm going to make sure I stay here by my hard work, my dedication. And, you know, like I said, by the time I'm done, I'm going to be one of the greatest in my era.
Has that changed over time, would you say? Like, as you've got more mature, your love for the game has almost increased? And
yeah, it's definitely increased more. It's increased way more, you know what I mean? Because I thought about it. I had a really long thought to myself. I was thinking to myself, and with every boxer, I feel like every boxer, when they make a little bit of money, they just think, oh, when am I going to retire, this and that. And I thought, okay, what if I do retire? I'm going to still have to work. I'm going to still have to make money somehow. So why don't I just stay dedicated, stay working hard? I love this. I don't want to do nothing else. Why would I want to do anything else? So that's made me even more motivated, you know what I mean? So now I'm being realistic with myself. If I stop boxing, I'm going to have to do something else. Yeah. You know what I mean? So why would I want to stop boxing? Why would I want to do anything else?
Is a life like, I know you said to me you got like more than 10 years in the game, but there is a point where boxing, you know, isn't going to be your thing. Is that a scary thought, would you say, when boxing?
Yeah, that's a scary thought, but I don't want to think about that. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is the only thing I know. You know, I've been boxing since I was 3 years old. I got 28. I've been boxing 25 years. So I don't think that if the love was going to run out, it probably would have ran out already. I don't feel nowhere near that the love is running out for the sport.
That's good to hear. And I think as a boxing fan, I'm excited to see 10 more years of David Benavidez. Look, appreciate you taking time to speak to me. Always good to catch up with you. And yeah, all the best on Saturday night against Anthony Yarde.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers.